Poor Freddy, you have yet been defeated by the Dream Master. But no matter, you're not defeated yet. Especially you, P.M.R.Bonez88's, because I am gonna come for you, and soon you will be reviewing Nightmare 5.
It was just a dream. Yeah. Or was it? Oh, hey guys, this is P.M.R.Bonez88. And the summer is almost over, so today I will be doing my summer horror movie review, which I'll be reviewing is A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. The fifth Nightmare series came out to theaters in the early of August of 1989. This film was more darker and gothic than the other Nightmare series. Plus, it was directed by Stephen Hopskins, and the returning cast from Part 4 of The Dream Master was Lisa Wilcox and Danny Hassel. And let's not forget Robert Englund playing the man of your dreams, Freddy Krueger. Unfortunately for Nightmare 5, The Dream Child turned out to be a letdown for fans, and there were some major mixed reviews of this film too. Plus, it was also rushed into production and wanted to try to compete with other films too, like Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, and Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. A little alternation with the title of it. The main title was called A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, but it was only shown in trailers, TV spots, and promos. But for the opening movie, it only just said A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child. I guess they didn't want to display 5 because they were getting tired of using numbers. And that goes same with the DVD opening as well. They just call it A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child. No 5 in it.
Actually, Part 5 wasn't the only one who had an alternated title. Same with Freddy's Revenge, because in 1985, they only showed the trailer of the main title called A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Same for the TV spot and the promos. But for the main title itself, they added a part in it, so it was called A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge.
Wow, really? I really did not know that. Good eye, Dark Shadow. Good eye.
You didn't expect that, did you, Bones?
What is that supposed to mean?
Come on. You did not expect it. You did not even see the title of it for the second film. You've seen this movie how many times? Probably a trillion?
Let's just review this, okay? Don't start. The film gross went over to about $22.2 million at the domestic box office. It was only ranked up to number 8, but as the week it went down up to number 43 through the top 50 highest grossing film in 1989. So in other words, Part 5 was becoming a disappointment. Honestly, Part 5... Did you do this?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I thought I wanted to be nice, and thought I'd give you a nice gift of Freddy's glove. Plus it suits your character.
Well, since you found my glove, I think I'll put this in my display.
Display? Hey, this glove has a purpose.
It has a purpose? Look, okay, Dark Shadow. First of all, it's not my purpose to go on a killing spree, okay? My purpose is to do a review, and that's what I'm doing. I'm reviewing It's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. I don't want you going out and going all tricks on me, okay?
Nice hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Wait a minute, hat? Come on! Plus I got my hair done. Enough with the tricks already. But thanks for the hat.
I love giving you some nice, good gifts there, Bonesy boy.
Now can I please do my review?
Whoa! Is it Christmas time already? Or will you just chill to the bones?
What? Really? Okay. As much as I like Freddy, you don't have to give me every single Freddy gifts. The glove, the hat, and the sweater.
Alright. I won't give you any more gifts. I was trying to be nice.
If you burn my face, I'm gonna kill you.
Don't have to be such a dick.
Just shut up and let's review. Where was I? Oh yeah. Part 5 was my least favorite. Don't get me wrong, folks. I love Part 5 because it was dark and it had some gothic scenes in it. But it also disappointed me too at the same time because Part 5 almost felt like Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Now, it's nothing like Freddy's Revenge, almost where Freddy wanted was revenge, but there was no revenge on anything. But in the Dream Child, there was so many different elements that they used and even trying to get into the right direction, but it turns out the direction was not really demised. So the film starts out with Alice and Dan finally together and making out in bed, and where Alice just goes into the showers for a while, and then all of a sudden the water starts rising up. So at this point we know that she's dreaming. By there she goes into the asylum where Amanda Kruger was committed with all these hundreds of maniacs. And surprisingly, Robert Englund was one of these maniacs. Due to all these jump scares, there was just only one jump scare that almost freaked me out, but didn't really shit my pants. Robert surprisingly almost attacking Alice, and then she just wakes up from either hallucination or just a fibulative, weird dream. So by the next scene, Alice and Dan finally graduated, getting some new friends, Greta, Mark, and Yvonne. These characters were really interesting and they were really funny. So Alice's dad, Mr. Johnson, just appeared out of nowhere. He's not drunk, he's not all depressed that he was in Part 4. And that was really good that his character was evolving, just moving on up. And that's why I love the characters, that they start processing and just to be, you know, more caring, or if they have a little dark time and all. And that's where at that point that he is much more supportive of his daughter. He's helpful with Alice and he's very caring with her. And that was really good to see Mr. Johnson returning from Part 4. So anyways, Alice runs to her job, and when she gets to the park, she stops and sees with these kids just doing the Freddy song lullaby chant.
A lullaby?
Well, you know that they're singing, you know, the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. It definitely sounds like a lullaby song. Makes you want to fall asleep.
So, if I sing this lullaby song to you, you would fall asleep?
Please, you're gonna try and make me fall asleep? I would love to see you try. Because I'm gonna be wide awake, dude.
You asked for it. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix.
Okay.
7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. What do you know? It worked. Now's my chance to bring Freddy in. Yes. He's asleep, Kruger. Now's your chance. What's the matter, Bones? Had a bad dream?
What did you do?
Well, I sing you the lullaby to be sure if it made you fall asleep. And I guess it did.
You sadistic fuck. Are you trying to kill me? Oh, I'm gonna get you back.
Like I said, I'm counting on it.
So by there, Alice finds a nun and follows her up to the old creepy church. And by there, what she discovers is Amanda Kruger giving birth to none other than Freddy. Which turns out that Freddy looks like this little deforming monster, in which that's what he is. Freddy is a monster.
Ugh. That baby form of Kruger looks like a giant white turd.
Yeah, I thought so too. So Alice tries to find baby Freddy, in which he finds is his old clothes, and he starts screaming out of nowhere. Just, why are you screaming for? That means that he's coming back, that he is now becoming stronger to become Freddy once again. And it's true, he did. So he went into his clothes, starts rapidly aging into his adult version, and guess who's back? The old-timing Kruger.
It's a boy!
So by there, when little Freddy went from being an infant, fully on grown adult, he was back. I kept asking myself, what's with the long arm? Because I didn't really get it. I mean, he was back to a fully on adult, but what was with that long ass arm? I had the figure of Freddy Krueger, and as you can tell, see that he has his long arm there, and he's missing a shoe. Unlike for Dream Warriors and the first film that I have in the back, this one's also my favorite. So when Freddy was getting ready to get out and just like touch Alice's stomach because she was the key, all of a sudden Amanda Kruger popped in out of nowhere and just scared Freddy away. So Amanda Kruger tries to explain to Alice that she must be released from her prison. When she was trying to explain, he closed the door on her. So now technically Alice has to do it the hard way. So much for the easy way. So by there, Alice came by to her job. Was she sleepwalking? I don't know how she did that. She was at the park and all of a sudden she's at her job. Was there a link? Something happened? What did I miss? Hello? There was barely kills in part 5. Freddy only just killed 3 people. That was it. Not ever since with the other Elm Street series. The only much more kills were parts 3 and 4, but in part 5 he only killed were Dan, Greta, and Mark, and that was it. He almost killed Yvonne, but that didn't happen. And speaking of Dan and Greta's death, their deaths were actually kind of cut due to the MPA. In Dan's death, that where he was riding the motorcycle and it turned out to be Kruger as the motorcycle, where all the wires and the cables that were coming right at him and was going right into his skin and transforming him into a skeletal monstrous speed demon. There were some details about it, and I guess the MPA didn't want to show it too much because it was too graphic, bloody for the audience.
It's crazy that Dan was sleeping while he was driving. Didn't your mom ever tell you not to fall asleep while driving because it'll cause you into a major accident? And this is a perfect example. For young teens and adults, do not fall asleep while you're driving! Enough said. After from Dan's accident, we even discover that Alice is pregnant and she sees it's Jacob in his child stage. I guess is what you call that. He is none other than the dream child. I mean, Alice is the dream master, but the real heroine is Jacob, because he's the hero this time.
And as for Greta's death scene, where she was getting food shoving right into her mouth, and Kruger stabbed her right in the stomach, so it turned out that she was just eating was herself. Greta's death scene did not deserve to be cut too much, and same with Dan's death as well. But the good thing was that they had an unrated version, so that's the good news. But the bad news is, The only way you could get that unrated version is you have to find it on VHS. You can't find it on DVD or on Blu-ray. Sorry, folks.
Ah, these stupid MPAs. Back then, they never let us show anything. No gore, no blood, violence. They never give us anything. But now they do. Thank God for more violence and gory that we see in the horror films that feels like it's rated X instead of rated R. Isn't that weird? PG-13 become rated R movies, and rated R movies become rated X movies. I love it.
My favorite scene ever was Mark's death, where Freddy just sucks Mark into the comic book, and everything was black and white except for Mark. Even Freddy was black and white. And when Mark just turned into the Phantom Prowler and shots down Freddy, and then Freddy just came back up and turned into Super Freddy, slashes him and turns him into a 2D cartoon comic strip. And by there, what was really ridiculous that he just slices and dices him, just rips him apart, just shreds him into itty bitty little pieces and goes all madly crazy ass shit. It almost felt it was going to be PG-13, but it was really rated R. Luckily, Part 5 wasn't like the Dream Master that felt it was PG-13 instead of rated R.
We don't see Freddy's boiler room anymore. All we see now is just a church/an asylum, so it was replaced. And we barely see the 1428 Elm Street house. We only see it just one time in the scene, and that was it.
So Alice tells Yvonne to find Amanda Kruger's body, and by there she goes home and falls asleep and to track down Kruger. So what she did was she threw him down the stairs where all of the 100 maniacs goes after him, rips him apart. The body just turns into pieces of spiders. So Freddy finally pulls him back together except for his arm. What was weird was his leg was kind of tight and the other was like a little baggy. I don't know, in the reverse it looked like he had a butt. Like his butt was right on his butt. I don't know what was in front of him. Either that was his ass in front of him. It reminds me of Mel Brooks' Spaceballs, where President Scrooge's head was in backwards, and he says to himself,
Why didn't somebody tell me my ass was so big?
So it was bizarre that Alice rescues Jacob from Freddy in this strange world of maze. And by there, when they escaped from him, Alice figures out a way of where was he, and Jacob explains to her that he was inside of her all this time. So what she did, she released Freddy out of her body. What really scared me and almost shit my pants is that where Alice just turned into Kruger and just this face and the head just like split up and like it was pulling out of it, and then Freddy just tormented her, just ripping her apart. So by there, Yvonne finds Amanda Kruger's body, releases her, and then she tells Jacob to unleash the power that Freddy just gave him. And one step out of another, that he just unleashed the power out of him, and with all the three souls, Greta, Dan, and Mark, came out of his body and just pulled him out and back to being infant demon Freddy. Amanda Kruger got little baby demonic Kruger back into her womb, and then Alice got Jacob back into her womb too. Amanda finally got Freddy back where he belonged, but not for long. So Alice had Jacob, and it was a happy ending. Or was it? Because it's not over. So after done talking about this film, Part 5 was kind of in a rush. They rushed it so much. The storyline kind of didn't make any sense. And with the makeup effects and the visual effects that were happening, most of the time they were using was stop motions. And with Freddy's makeup, that he looked like he was aging. He didn't look like he was all burned to a crisp. Looked like he was a creepy old man. Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, is a decent horror film. And like I said, it's my least favorite out of all the Nightmare series. So just to rate this film for Nightmare 5, The Dream Child, I will have to give it a 7 out of 10. So the grade is a C-.
I have to agree with Bones on this one. 7 out of 10. It was a fair sequel, but still was so disappointed due to all the puns that Freddy's been using a lot. They were okay, but most of them were annoying.
For a dark, gothic nightmare series, I think it deserves for a chance just to watch and to enjoy. There were a big comedy and couple of puns that Freddy used. He might have taken it a little too far, but you know what? He's Freddy Krueger. You can't mess with him. With all the production that was happening and all the scenes and storylines and the environment was good, and they were very dark and gothic. But the one thing I really loved was the movie poster, where we just see is Freddy's face and the eyeball and all these shadowy demonic that's starting to change into Krueger, and with the ball that has the cradle. But then there's another poster that has the baby in it, and there's nothing there but just clouds and Freddy there. I have this movie on both Blu-ray and DVD. Oh, and plus get the unrated version on VHS. And this is P.M.R.Bonez88's sign off. His saying is, don't fall asleep, folks. And peace!
Where are you going, Piglet? I just started.
Krueger, you failed again. But I'll pass the message to Bones. Soon he will be reviewing
Oh, I'm really tired. Maybe I'll just try to take one nap. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, come on! What the hell? Fuck. God damn. Oh. I'm so gonna get him. You hear me, Dark Shadow? I'm gonna get you! Nothing could possibly go. Oh, great. Next time.